Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It is Friday, guys. We made it the 26th of April. This is our weekly recap. I'll put it out there for free. Anybody wants to join us, you can come over to the link in the description below. Come on over to smartoptiontrading.com and you can join us by coming there. So let's talk about this week. Um, we've had quite a little week here. So first of all, we came off the lows. We pushed up for 3 days. We gapped down yesterday on a hot a cool GDP number with a hot PCE number and Meta's earnings, and we bought it back. Today we had a good report from Google, a good report from Microsoft. We had a PCE number that was slightly hot, but not that hot, and the market bought it up. And guys, it feels like we're just ready to rock. I feel like the low is probably in at this point for this little pullback. We came down, we put a 5% in. We'll see next week. We do have the Fed next week, but it looks like this market wants to go. We just need to clear the 50-day and then we're off and running again. It is what it is. Volume here today is extremely low at 36 million shares. You can also see on the Qs, similar type, except only got to the 21-day, but they're nicely off the lows. The IWM coming up on the 21-day there as well. Energy kind of going sideways, not doing much. We had earnings from Chevron this morning and ExxonMobil. They were not the best, but they weren't horrific. I'm sure they'll come right back. The financials have been very strong. Look at them holding up here. JP Morgan, they bought the earnings weakness back. Goldman Sachs put a new all-time high in today. Bank of America, they bought all the weakness on the earnings back and then some. You kind of get the idea there. Very strong move there. The semis coming back up at the 50-day, stronger than the markets. Today being led by the names of SMCI, which is raging up. SMCI, which has earnings next week. Watch that downtrend. NVIDIA coming running back. Nice break above the 50-day today. I like this one to go back over 900 next week, at least retest that 906 area, then see if we can break out. AMD still lagging big time, and Micron also holding in but lagging the markets here. Let's talk about our big names. Meta. Now, let's talk about this report. I've talked about it with my members a bunch, but it was not that bad a report. Their guidance was on the lower end of where they guided, but still within the range. But they got hit hard on it. Their CapEx spending is huge. They're spending a tremendous amount of money on AI, and they don't expect to roll products out to monetize for a couple of years. And their Reality Labs and their metaverse is losing, just hemorrhaging money left, right, and center. That said, didn't deserve to be down under 400 at one point. Probably deserves a couple more days in the penalty box, but I guess if the market goes, it'll come back. We'll keep an eye on this for this gap to fill. For me, once you start filling this gap, wherever that 8-day sets up, that's going to become the next big level to watch there. Microsoft, blowout quarter, really was. Nothing wrong with it, except it's Microsoft. They always tend to dip on earnings day after they report, but then they come back in a couple of days. Great report. I expect this one to run back to the all-time high of 430.82. The markets go up. Google today, all-time high, just didn't have the power to move. What are they going to tell you? Nothing wrong with it. It was up huge. It really didn't go all that far. Still have this huge gap sitting here now. And, you can see it just sitting here, this huge gap to fill. Nothing going with it. Probably goes higher over the next week or two. Just needs to digest this a little bit. Not much to say there about that one. Apple, sitting here in earnings next week, that'll be big. Tesla earnings were not that good. They were better than feared, is the only way to put it, but it's holding in nicely. A lot of the things that Musk spent his time focusing on in the conference call, it was really a sales call, are stuff that it's going to take years for them to come to fruition. So, you kind of have to look at Tesla at this point and say, in the short term, they're probably still going to have big problems. The whole EV space is still under fire. The robo-taxi and the full autonomous driving are still years away. Doesn't mean that it has to go down again, right? It could be the bottom, could be in. So right now it tried to push up today and yesterday to the 50-day, couldn't get there. It's still holding the earnings gap. As long as it holds that, it remains in play to move up to the 50-day and then higher. So, we'll see where that goes. We go into next week. We have not much data during the week. We do have jobs data next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we have the Fed decision on Wednesday. That'll be, really what we're looking for there, in my opinion, is they're not going to cut rates. They're probably not going to hint at cutting rates anytime soon. And the market's waking up to probably no rate cuts until September at this point. If you're with us, we've been talking about that, June was not probably going to happen for a long time. But the market's going to want to hear talk, and if they're going to slow down the runoff, the asset sale runoff. And that would be the big thing that gets the market moving on Wednesday. On top of that, we have another very busy week of earnings. SoFi on Monday morning, Genco Solar, Paramount, NXP on Monday night. Tuesday morning, PayPal, Lilly, 3M, McDonald's, Coke. Tuesday night, very busy, Amazon, AMD, SMCI, and Starbucks along with Pinterest. Pfizer, CVS, and MasterCard, Norwegian Cruise Lines on Wednesday morning. Qualcomm and Carvana and Etsy on Wednesday night. Don't really care too much about Moderna, Penn, but they report on Thursday morning. And then Thursday night, another very busy night. Apple, Coinbase, Block, and DraftKings. So members, I'll be staying late with you every night next week as we go through earnings. With that said, I wish you guys all a wonderful weekend. I think I'm going to be out on Sunday, so I'm going to try to do some charts for you guys tomorrow. Everybody have a fabulous weekend, and I'll catch you guys later.